That was the wrong video. Should I do one more?
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Why was it the wrong video?
I had
Because
to
he did the
play the cat.
countdown versus the comic books, but then he realized what he did, so he quickly played the comic book one, and he was dying
Oh,
laughing in the background.
And that's the play for the not even just to start. That's like to hit play when you're watching with everyone. So
Yeah.
okay.
we
I
should
think it's
retitle
fine.
these better. We should whoever is in charge of titling these should title them better. They should just say this one John for ours, and then so don't touch John. That's what they should say.
It should. I think it's fine. Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
So,
We are the Jedi Archives. We are going over comic reviews for you guys. Today we are going over a couple issues at once. We're going to knock out a nice little compact arc for you guys. It starts with the High Republic Adventures 11.
introductions are
Oh,
due,
introductions
And
are-
his name is Jonathan. I'm Bryce, and
and
this is
I'm
Paul.
Mike, and it's a 3 comic book arc. So we're getting very close to the end of the High Republic Adventures, Phase 3. So the first one was
I just want to say I'm glad we're finally getting to the end of it. This has been a lot.
it sure has been.
High Republic has been. I've never seen anything like it, honestly. And the amount of every which way we've gone, the amount of content, it's just. I know that Asimov wrote a bunch of books, but this is a lot when you add in all the comics and everything. This has been a lot to take in, so I kind of need a break from it.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, but it's been a wild ride.
You know what? It has been a lot, but it's been good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this is.
They would just have 2 comics left, 14 and 15, with High Republic Adventures, and then
Mm-hmm. So in this one, it's called Eriadu is Under Siege. The fate of the planet lies with the ruling Tarkin family, and nobody knows whose side they're on. Will the Tarkins join forces with the Republic resistance or capitulate to the vile Nile? While the bureaucrats wheel and deal, Padawan Ram Jamaram gathers the team of underdogs to launch a rescue mission deep within the occlusion zone. Artist Kaio, the illustrator of Lotus Land, joins the High Republic Adventure Saga for the first time. And here we have the main cover. It's called Meet Valo's Dubious Defenders. And we have our old friend. So we're getting back our Ram Jamaram. Which, good to see him back. We're going to see a lot of old friends, which is pretty cool. We know him from Escape from Valo, of course. And this is the main cover.
So his character right now just came out of the young adults book, right?
Yes.
yeah.
I think I have that book.
Ram was in. What am I looking for? Race to Crash Point Tower. Is where we see him.
I got it right here. I totally forgot I had this.
Hey, Mike, or Jonathan, you still have my book, don't you? The one that has a nice little autograph in it.
To Bryce.
Pop in
There's
the
your book,
mail
Bryce.
sometime.
To Bryce.
To Bryce, yes.
I would need to put your address on it before I put it in the mail, but I guess to Bryce. I guess that's good enough. They'll figure it out.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is the original cover, the main cover, and then we do have a variant. So this main cover we have, of course, he's very prominent with his lightsaber, and of course he is kind of like Anakin because he's very mechanical, and
that's how he sees the Force. I remember that from his first book. Like his Force helps him like see how things work. I guess
mechanical.
Yes,
definitely different than other.
He takes them apart and then
builds things,
puts it back together.
Yeah. And because remember he's able to build he puts the tower together because the Nile come and destroy the tower, and that's why he does the Race to Crash Point Tower. He's able to build it, put it back together to send out the message. So there's the main cover for this, and here's the variant cover.
So Widow. Oh. Fazalan, right? Oh, this is right there, Fazala.
Yeah, Farzala and Ram answer the call. And here we see the Nile. So remember, Farzala is on Eriadu, and so we find out in this issue how Ram and the others borrow him to come over to Valo.
So I'm assuming in the other run, we're going to see the other half of this because they don't. The other heroes don't leave because they're on their story. Essentially, is what they say. So I think
Right.
there are other issues. We're going to see Fazla leave and have them fight without him. I guess.
Right. Right, because Farzala leaves with Ram, and he's on this adventure
Yep.
on Valo. Correct, for these
This is-
3 issues.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, and everybody else is still
On
Area
Eriadu, which is at the stalemate in
Planning a
preparation
wed-
for the wedding. Right.
Yeah, planning a wedding.
Well, but remember, Ram has to come back. They're all going to come back for the wedding. So, all right.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah.
If there's a wedding.
We hope so.
Dun dun dun.
So
Well, there's
They're
spoilers for that.
They're in the middle of a war. You never know.
that's true. Well, if they survive.
Yeah. Dun dun dun.
All right. So we're not going to talk about the issue, right? We're just going to look at the covers, all 3 covers.
Yeah, let's look at all the covers.
Okay. So this is the cover for 11, and then this goes on to issue 12. The Nile are closing in on Valo, and a mysterious pirate radio broadcaster known as the Scarlet Skull has called for help. Now remember, the original Scarlet Skull was Ram Jamaram because he was in the tower. But then he left somebody else. So Padawan, Ram Jamaram, and Jedi Knight Farzala Tarabal have bravely answered the distress call, but soon find themselves in over their heads. Will Ram, Farzala, and the Scarlet Skull manage to save Valo from the Nile again? And here's this main cover. I like this cover because I like the red. It's very vibrant.
Yeah, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
The symmetry, I guess. The weapons like that is cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And I like the art style. The art changes from this issue and the previous one.
Yeah, it does.
They've done that all over the place. I
Yeah.
remember they first
Not
did that. I'm like,
consistent.
wow, it looked like they aged up. They just changed the style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this has a variant too. So this is the main cover, and we've got Farzala and Ram. And Ram looks younger in this one for some reason, right? He looks like a little young Asian samurai, doesn't he? Doesn't he? To me, he does.
On the cover, yeah.
On the cover, yeah. And then we've got this other cover, which, it's a cool cover too. I like it. It's got the scissor punch.
Zoidberg
I love
over
scissor
there.
punch.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
rip off of Zoidberg. He even goes, what? Oh, snip,
Orn.
snip, snip for
Is it
snip.
Therm, Orn,
It-
and then
Therm, and
Therm,
punch.
Scissor Punch.
yeah.
And I think, and then the taller guy's Orn.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a
Cool.
crew of characters on that ship.
A lot of pirates.
A lot of pirates. Yeah.
You think it's
Cool.
funny though? Like I'm thinking about this, like all the pirates that show up in this arc, because this was October, November, and December's arc, if I'm not mistaken. It was those 3
Mhm.
months, and it was like we were getting Skeleton Crew around the same time.
Oh
So
yeah.
I thought the timing of the publications for this was really cool because we
All
were
right. It was
watching
all pirates.
Skeleton
Lots of
Crew.
pirates. That's right.
And then we have, because Therm's he's a pirate, Orn's a pirate. Zeem, I believe, is the other one that's up there. She's, or I think it's she.
They.
Is it a they? Okay.
They.
Okay. But they're
A lot of pirates.
child,
You're right.
But there's a lot of pirates in here.
You're right. It was a
thought it was
good
kinda
time
cool.
for pirates.
Which, in my mind, lessens what a pirate is when you have good pirates and bad pirates. It's like, it really just kind of lessened it a little bit.
Well,
But yeah.
there's no such thing as a good pirate.
Well, these guys
They're
are good
just
pirates,
pirates. They're just pirates. They're pirates. So So this is issue 12, and then we have the final issue, 13. Padawan Ram Jamaram, Knight Farzula, Tarabal have begun gathering brave fighters to repel the Nile invasion of Valo, but uniting the war-weary people to defend their home is proving to be a battle all its own. Will the Jedi and their allies be able to inspire a resistance in the face of such destruction? Meanwhile, a shocking discovery on Eriadu inflames tensions. Oh, Zyle Keem, Pirate Commander. And again, different art style. I really like this art style, though. I like this
And
cover.
did you say this one had a variant too, Mike?
Yes. All of these have one variant. So.
Dude, that's crazy. It must be a Dark Horse thing because when this was with Image prior, we never got variants for
No, never got variants.
High Republic Adventures.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
Check this out.
Ooh, it's cool.
Look at the warden. Looks like a vampire.
I thought that the whole issue, every time we see him, like this guy's some kind of vampire monster.
He might be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he definitely hates the Jedi, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. He wants them dead.
All right. Out of all 6 covers, what was your favorite?
Oh, shoot. This one looks the most Disney of all the covers.
Oh, because of Gabby?
Yeah.
He kind of looks like a Disney prince a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would say probably the regular one of issue 12.
The red one?
I kind of like that one.
Yeah, that's a pretty sharp one.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So just a lot of different Nile weapons, and you can see how they scratch things, like MacGyvered things together, and
Yeah. I agree. That red one.
Too.
That's my favorite too.
I think it's the first time we've all agreed on something.
That red is just really like.
It's very.
Yeah, that red one's a really good one.
The
that's my favorite one too.
It's very
The
Last Jedi. The Last Jedi and all the red marketing they had.
That's my favorite movie too of the sequels.
The worst one.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Last Jedi?
The best one. What are you talking about?
Last Jedi. It's very gives that vibe, the marketing vibe.
I mean, from the cinematic standpoint, it kind of reminds you of like being on Crate or within Snoke's like throne room when it turns all red.
Mm-hmm. That scene in Snoke's throne room was badass, you guys.
It was terrible. And now we're disagreeing.
You're terrible.
Okay. Jonathan just has to go, hey, we all agreed on something. What's something that we can disagree on that I can really get Mike fired up about?
Jedi. That'll do it.
Yeah. All right. So yes, we all agree on this cover. This is the best cover of the 3. Of the 6, actually. I agree.
Yeah.
The color scheme's great. The imagery's great. The artwork. Yeah. All right. Now to the story. So in the first act, because we have 3 acts. So in the first act, our friends go to Eriadu to get some help because the Nile are going to Valo, where they've been. The Nile think that Valo is under their control, right?
Yeah, because they tricked them.
They've been duped.
They got a hold of their radio signal or something. They say, "Oh yeah, we're under control."
We're the Nile, and
right.
And it starts off just like that too, because you see this little kid, and it's kind of confusing at first because first he's saying stand up to the Nile, then next scene a transmission comes in and he goes, oh yeah, we're all good, we're all good, Nile. So, but it's very I don't know what the word is. It's something that happens very often in movies is, oh, we're gonna come see. Oh, you don't need to come see. I mean, Han Solo did it. We're good. We
Yeah,
don't
Yeah,
need a check. We're
exactly.
good.
very Han Solo-ish. Yep, yep,
Yeah, we're checking
Negative.
yep.
anyways.
Negative.
How
All
are you?
systems good.
Yeah.
Big thermal nuclear reactor. Don't
Yeah, we
come.
got reactor leak down
System
here.
failure.
Very
Yeah,
dangerous.
yeah. But yeah.
What's
So
your
they're trying to
TK?
like,
What's
okay, you
your
don't need to
TK
come.
number? This is a boring conversation.
So yeah. So Ram goes to Eriadu, and but it turns out that they can't really let everybody go because they're in a standoff. So they're not really sure when they might need them, but they
Right.
do say, well, we can let Farzala go, you know,
Hmm.
because
Which
you'll have some help.
Farzala's like, what am I? Chopped liver? Like,
Yeah. So,
hey,
Oh,
but
here
he's
you
a
you
ain't no
go.
problem.
he's
You
a
ain't no
master
problem.
though. He's a master, so he's fine. So he goes with
Who?
Ram.
No, Farzal is a knight. He's not a master.
He's a knight.
He's a
He is
knight,
a
not a
knight.
master. Yeah.
Okay. So he's able to go with Ram, and they go, and um, but he's able to go, and because Gavi's a Padawan, right? And he's
Yes.
on
Yes.
Valo. So
Correct.
there are lots of Jedi on both planets. Um,
Yeah.
so then he goes. Meanwhile, uh, Gavi thinks that they have some time before the Nile will get there, but it's not quite as much time as he
Not.
thought because the Nile are already on the planet, coming into the room,
Yeah.
and he's
Yep.
like quick on his feet. He's like, "Oh well, the
Oh yeah.
here are my generals." Like what? He's like, Who are these people?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, and these are." And he's really quick thinking. He's like, "Well, we infiltrated, and the warden's really dim-witted,
Well,
and
he eats it up. He's like, this is
oh
great.
yeah, he
Yeah, I
loves it.
love.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's a great. You're a genius, tactical genius." And he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's super funny, and I
And he
really like
catches on pretty quick though.
he does, but at the beginning, it's pretty comical. You know how this
well, it
this
catches on
child
when
is.
the fight starts. I mean, that's the only reason I catches on because he even fooled him again after that. How he said, "How are we going to defeat the rebels?" Like, oh, we're not going to defeat the rebels. We're going to trick the rebels to join us, and we'll take care of them once they join us. And he's
And they'll
playing
be
this.
and they'll be cannon fodder, right?
He's
Yeah.
playing the warden like a fiddle, man. And so pretty much
At
he's
least
got
he
him
thinks he is.
Yeah.
until the ish hit the
Till, he,
fan, man.
till he's holding a lightsaber to his master's
Well, but that's not until the
throat.
next issue, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the story though.
Yeah, so
Well, but
Yeah, we're
this
that
talking about
happens
the whole
in.
story.
I know, but in that doesn't happen uh in this act. That's not until Act Two, which I had questions like, how did that actually happen? Because then in Act Two, how did he
I
get his
had questions too
master?
because all of a sudden he's got a lightsaber in his hand. I'm like, did I miss something? And so they don't
Yeah,
really explain
I
that. So I'm glad I'm
they
not the
don't
only one.
explain it.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, so I mean, it's cool for the story, and I like that it happened, and I like that he had his master because it was kind of like a switcheroo, and then uh, Gabby's like, he's got him in a tough spot because then he has to like capitulate. But really, I didn't understand how he was able to get his master. Where did that come from?
it doesn't show that the
Yeah,
last time you see him, he's angry because they're being attacked in the end of the last issue
Mm-hmm.
by our Ram and his pirates, and it's kind of and then all the other sleeper cells, the Red Skulls start attacking, or Scarlet Skulls, whatever they're called,
The Scarlet Skulls. Mm-hmm.
and
right.
it's all over the
Yeah.
radio. So he's figuring it out right there, and that's it. And then next time you see him again, he's got his master with the lightsaber at his neck. So it's like,
Right.
Making him send out a different message.
yeah.
Right. And then that's when he hears them like, oh, he must have been compromised, right? And that's when they're in the ship and they hear like, oh, he's been compromised. We need to go help Ram and the others. But I didn't quite get what happened. Like,
Yeah,
how did he
I'm
get his
glad I wasn't
master?
the only one because I just totally lost too. I thought this was a flashback or something that happened. Like what just
Well, there
happened?
was a little flashback in the previous issue when they mentioned his friend, right? And I thought, oh, they're gonna bring back that story about his, because remember they
Yeah,
they
the
brought up
girl.
his the girl, and I thought, oh, they're bringing that up again because he was kind of like sad about that, but then it didn't. It's just stopped. It didn't really go into that. So I was confused about that. They never really said how he got his master, but that was like a plot point of how he was able to manipulate him. So
Yeah.
he had to have the master to be able to do that. So I get it why he had to have him, but it wasn't really clear of how he got him. Did you understand how he got him, Bryce?
It's
No,
just
No.
implied, I
it just,
guess.
yeah, it just,
Somehow Palpatine returned. Okay, we get
no.
it. Somehow Palpatine returned. Yeah, we get it. So it's fitting. It's fitting that this cover was like,
I actually, honestly,
Right.
what I thought is like, oh, he must have had his own lightsaber, like
It's
uh
possible.
the eye.
It's,
Yeah.
the warden.
um, he might have, he might, I'm trying to think earlier on in this, he was a central focus, and he might have had kind of almost like a lightsaber collection like Grievous did. I could be mistaken, but I think he does
Well,
have one
remember he
because
did
he's
in
got.
the jail. Remember he did.
So I think that's just, I think
So
it was his.
that does help a little bit because if he took this masters, that's kind of odd. But if you look on the panel, it actually has the zzz. So I'm thinking it's instant. And where he walked up behind him zzz, to his neck, and then he got him. So I guess without anything else, that's how they're going to explain it.
Yeah, I think the lightsaber might be his.
He already had it from
I think so because if I'm not mistaken, like I think he has a few trophies because, like I said,
like
he
Grievous,
has such disdain for Jedi that he takes pride in quote unquote murdering Jedi.
right? Because he is the warden. Remember, and when he had his prison colony, he did have Jedi there, and
Yeah,
so he did have lightsabers in his collection. I remember that from his prison.
yeah.
So that's possible. Okay, so I'll let it go. So then in this second act, he does have Gavi under his control, and he's making him send these messages out, right, to tell the people
Pass.
of,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. I say to pacify everyone, to calm
Right,
them
right,
down. Yeah.
to make
So,
them go to acquiesce to the Nile.
uh,
But then Ram is like, "Oh, we need to do something," right? Um, I think
Well,
that's pretty
yeah,
much
because then so what happened at that point is you got to remember like they came back into the not into Valo space and the Starhopper was there.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh,
And they did the pirate thing and they boarded that ship and they took the Starhopper back.
oh, right. Because
Um,
Farzal is like, "That's my ship,"
yeah, this was my
right?
home, and
Right.
so then
That was
they
his home
flew down.
after the fall of Starlight Beacon.
Yeah, correct.
That was his home
Well, the
right after the
warden
fall.
takes yeah, and the warden takes it in earlier on when they blew up the warden ship. The warden commandeered the Starhopper at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool part was is that so then we see Zeem, um, you know, taking control of piloting it. And then Ram comes up with that plan like I need to go to the tower so I can intercept the message. And but Orn and Therm want to be on the ground, so they're kind of like the eyes and ears to see what's going on. And
Right.
then then we see um, Ram go into the tower, do a bunch of stuff. The tower blows up, and then cool part is it's like his Gonk droid is what he's flying out on. And I was like, I
Right.
remember in the junior novel Race to Crash Point Tower, I think one of the pictures is him on that thing
Right.
as well. So it was kind of cool to see
Little
the
flashback.
Gonk droid is still, you know, flying around with Ram on it. So
his little modifications.
yeah.
Yeah, and I like it because then Zyle Keem is like, we're pirates, we're gonna board that ship, right? Because at
Hmm.
first they said we're gonna board your ship. It's like, no, we're pirates, we're gonna board yours. And then
Right.
they go on and they're just like all blowing stuff up, and they're calling back to the warden saying, Warden, we need some help here, and he's busy down, and he's not even listening to them, and they're blowing stuff
Right.
up, and they're like out of control. So they do manage to take over the ship, and
Yep.
then Farzal is he's because he sees his ship and it's just like in really bad shape. Um, and
Yeah.
at the end of this act, he's pretty down because he looks at it, it's all tore up. It's
Yep.
banged up, it's in really bad shape. And they're like, don't worry, we'll clean it
Let the
up.
Nile do it.
We'll put it back together. Don't worry. It's just a ship. And that's when he mentions, but this is like after the Starlight Beacon fell, my home.
Yep.
So he went from the Starlight Beacon being his home to this ship being his home. So like every home he's ever had gets destroyed and
Right.
lost. And he does say, even though I shouldn't have any attachments, he does have attachments.
Wow.
So that was pretty sad. Uh, and then I think that leads us to the final act where
Zyle,
uh,
did I pronounce
Zalkeem.
their name?
Zyle
Zyle.
Keem. Yeah. Now here they look more grown up, but in the actual comic, they look a lot younger, which is better for the comic because their mom
Yeah.
shows up, right? And they're like,
Right.
"Oh, mom,
That was
why'd you have to
funny.
show
Right.
up?"
Well, if you'd learn to
Aw,
check in more often.
I know, mom, why do you have to
And that
keep
was kind
saying
of like
that?
the
Grow up
underlying
a
thing
bit.
for most of the comic was them going back and forth. Well, I
Yeah.
wish you would just trust me. Well, you would just check in.
If
I
you
wouldn't
check
have to show
in.
up to make sure. And then at that point, they talk about the Nile coming at them where they're currently at. And she's like,
Mhm.
well, you don't think I came alone, do you? And then, then
Oh, the big
outburst with
reveal.
Maz and is it
It's
what was
all our
the
old friends,
right.
from the
Yep,
beginning.
Dex,
Dexter pops out.
and then
Sav. Sav was the
Sav.
big one.
Sav
Yeah.
Maligan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All friends. That's right.
yeah.
I,
The
I
Sav
Very
hate
was
beginning.
Sav
Dexter's
was really
mustache
cool.
though.
That's young
Oh
Dexter Jetster.
man,
That's
he's
right.
I
That's
just
the mustache.
cavalier.
I,
He
I
just
hate
makes him
that
look
mustache.
cavalier.
It looks so bad. It looks like somebody drew it on that didn't belong to like. And I draw a mustache on something on a yearbook or something. That's what it looks like. It looks so bad.
Dexter Jetster. It's young Dexter Jetster.
I
Yeah.
It's 70s porn Dexter
was gonna
Jetster.
say
Oh
like
my
he's
god.
Smokey and the Bandit is what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
and Lavalox. It's Lavalox too. So it's the whole
Yeah.
original gang, of
Yeah.
pirates.
Hmm. The whole gang's back together, and um, yeah, basically, like during the whole thing, you could see the warden starting to lose control
Oh yeah.
there at the end. Like, what do you mean my ship's gone? What do you mean the transmission's not going through? Well, Ram blew up the tower.
Oh yeah, Ram blew up the tower.
You know,
Because first Ram sends out a message to the whole town like,
yeah,
"Hey, we
and
need
then
to
he blew up the
all."
tower.
And then right, because the warden was going to send out a distress call to all the Nile
Yeah,
to rally call to bring back more Nile to attack. And Ram's like, "We'll have none of that." And so then when they tell the warden, "Hey, we weren't able to send out a message," it's like, "Why not?" It's like, tower's not there." It's like, "Well,
right,
let's get out of here. Where's my ship?" "Oh, we don't know." And
right.
there's
We
It's
don't
some
know
people
about that,
outside.
and yeah,
it's
Like, well,
very
how many people? Uh-huh.
it says
all of
very
them.
what's the word poetic that he has to build the tower to send out a distress call in the first book.
Oh,
Start,
Ram
yeah,
Oh,
what's the
Ram
name
had
of the
to.
book? Yeah,
He had
raised the
to.
Crash Point
He had to
Tower.
yeah,
fix it. Yeah, he had to
yeah.
fix
He had
it.
to fix it, and now this one he has to blow it up. So it's
Yep.
just like,
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he's blowing up his own work, so
yeah.
I'm sure he was okay with it.
Yeah. But did you notice too, even if you notice that in the comics, the progression of the comics from the first issue 11, uh, the tower looks nice, right? And it's got nice birds and it's all pretty. And then in the second one, you can see it's already getting all decrepit and broken down. So you can see how it's getting all destroyed as the comics progress from one issue to the next. So you can see the destruction going on as the Nile have arrived.
Right.
So Valo's already getting more destroyed because of the presence of the Nile. So the Nile are bad news.
Yeah, they're on my last nerve. I can't wait till we're done with them.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Which
think the final is Trials of the Jedi from Charles Soule. I think that's the
yeah,
final. The
and then
final
what? A month or two it comes out.
uh June.
Oh, June.
Yeah. Got a couple I think coming up this month. There's a couple February books, but I don't know if they're High Republic. I think High Republic kind of takes over in like April from
Yeah, we got
books.
April, and then June's the
So
final one.
yeah. So I think we've got the young adult junior novel, and then the final will just be the.
The adult book.
I think, and I think it's fitting. I know we're off track, but I think it's totally fitting that the very first thing published was Charles Soule's *The Light of the Jedi*, which that's my favorite book. Like I don't know what it was. Like I've read a lot, but that one just sticks out. I think it's fitting that he's the bookend on the other side.
Oh
I
yeah, he
really
has
do.
to be. Well, he's
So
the one that masterminded the whole thing. You mean he's the one that coordinated everything.
yeah, so it's cool. Cool that he's getting that.
Yeah,
He's gonna
I'm
kill them
excited.
all. The last book, they're all dead. Watch.
You never know. I mean,
Well,
Kevin Scott. I mean, if Kevin Scott wrote it, we know for sure.
I hope.
yeah.
I mean, a
So,
lot died in
but at
that
the end of
first book.
this, yeah, that's true. At the very beginning, but
Yeah.
at the very end of this, our Jedi friends all escape on Mazish. Oh, and Farzal is upset because he has to leave um, his ship. But they
Well,
tell
I
him, you
didn't
know what? It's
understand that because I thought they were trying to like liberate the city, and they're just leaving the city now.
right. But they're leaving, but so are the Nile.
Yeah,
Like,
because the warden is taking all of the Nile and going to
uh,
Iridu.
Right, they're going to Eriadu. So then all the Jedi are going to Eriadu too to join the other
oh, that's it.
Jedi
Oh, yeah.
there.
It says
Yeah.
on. I'll see you
So
again on area. Do.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. That's why
Because
like
now Valo is safe, so they can all leave.
yeah.
So at the conclusion, now Valo is now safe. It's been rescued. But yeah, we've got end of this month. We've got Escape. No, that's already done. Escape from Valo's already. Let me see. April. We've got April, May of this year. So in April, Into the Light. We've got in May, A Valiant Vow. Trials of the
Yeah,
Jedi in June. Yep.
yeah.
So April's a
Yeah, it
young
should be
adult.
yep.
Valiant Vow in May, the middle grades, which is the younger kids, and then the adult novel in June, Charles Soule.
Yeah.
Can't
And
wait.
then we're also
Can't
on
wait.
top of that, we're also gonna get the Tempest Breaker audio drama as well. That comes out in May as well.
No, I already heard it. It's been out.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. The book. Sorry, the book version of it is coming
Yeah,
out in May.
I already heard that. That was amazing.
But we are getting
You mean the
in
script, Tempest Breaker?
yeah. We are getting in May as well. The Acolyte Wasteseeker novel.
Oh yes.
And then in July, we're actually getting the Crystal Crown. That's the other Acolyte specific book. So
Oh, I don't have those. The Crystal Crown.
yeah, it's July 29th.
29.
And then totally off script, I think it's very interesting. I'm obviously definitely going to pick it up and read it. Sanctuary.
What's that?
Bad Batch novel.
Oh, yes, I
did
want
hear
that one
about
too.
that.
It just come out of nowhere, but I've seen people now posting about it. Like I always look for the upcoming books to kind of get like a release schedule to where I'm like, hey, this book's going to come out here, this book's going to come out there.
What was the other
So
what was the other one? So Crystal Crown, and what was the other one from
Wayseeker.
Wayseeker?
Yeah, that one comes out May 6th.
May 6th, can't wait.
Yeah, so Valiant Vow, and Wayseeker both come out May 6th.
Same day.
Yeah.
Can't wait. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. That concludes
it's winding down.
Yep.
But we are gonna branch off and do some other reviews. We're gonna kind of leave the High Republic behind and look at doing some other cool stuff as far as books, comics,
Video
collectibles,
games. Yeah.
video games.
Yeah. Just
So,
I mean,
yeah.
we really need to
stretch the
review
legs of the archives.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
yeah. Definitely get books in here. I think books is important. We talk about all the comics, but let's get the books in.
I mean, we talk about books anyway, so might as well really talk about books.
Yeah, I know we've got encyclopedia that just came out. That I don't know if you guys picked it up, but I picked that up and it's awesome. And definitely worth like this Star Wars encyclopedia. So this is the updated version of the Ultimate Star Wars book that was done in 2019. The awesome thing, just a little bit of a preview, it has High Republic characters. It has the Young Jedi Adventure characters.
Oh, I love that.
This thing goes into. I want to say it's.
Does it have
the amount of entries that are in there?
Is it the one with Luke on the cover, or is that an old one?
Luke from the sequel trilogy. Luke, yes.
Yeah. Wasn't that the Ahsoka? Okay.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson did the Ford for this one.
It's not that bad. $30 for a hardcover. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's a fantastic book. I would love to actually deep dive into that one.
Oh, we should do that one.
It's 40% off on Amazon right now.
I'm gonna get it. What is it called?
I went to my. It's just Star Wars Encyclopedia.
I put Star Wars Encyclopedia 2025.
Yeah, it's a hefty book, but and then so the complete locations is getting updated too. That's coming out in March.
Is it $29.95 right now? $30, Jonathan.
$29.95.
So, what did you guys think of these 3 books that we just reviewed?
A lot happened as a story. Really good that we did it as an arc.
Yeah.
Individually, I don't know how it'd been very.
I liked it all together.
Pieces of it. So yeah, it worked really well. We did them all together. Got to see some old friends. Honestly, it could be the last time we hang out with some of them. I don't know how much more Jam stories we're gonna get. That could have been the last one. So we'll see. But yeah, it's definitely it's a good read. Interesting. They gotta get rid of the warden though. He's lingered too long. I don't know how many times he's been defeated. But he's got to go, man.
I know he's got to go.
I think it's safe to say I think he's going to meet his demise.
I should have this one going, huh? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. How many as a set, as an arc?
How many holocrons as an arc?
Yeah.
As an arc, I really liked it actually.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'll go first. We'll go 3.5. So it was all right.
Oh, good night.
Lowballing it.
Well,
man.
I'm going to tell you why.
You're a lowballer.
Push it.
Yeah, you are.
Some of the plot stuff was a little odd.
That's true.
Making the kids say, everyone give up, and then immediately Ram's like, oh, he's fake. He's being forced to do. We really need to tell them they have to. That was a little odd, a little awkward plot. I mean, it was still cool to see all our characters. Like I said, it was probably the last time we seen Ram, so I enjoyed that. But we're wrapping up. You started to kind of see the finish line, which can be.
Yeah,
I hope it's not sad when it
Yeah.
it's gonna be a
happens,
lot of
but it
battles
might
in the
be.
occlusion zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So 3.5.
Oh, Jonathan, I'll go next. That's
you go
you're
next.
you're a low baller, Jonathan. You're a low baller. Can't
Somebody
believe
has to.
that.
Somebody's got to hang
Oh
low.
man. I am gonna say just because it had some kind of funky things about things that happened that just didn't make sense to me. They were too like, where did that come from? I would have ranked it higher, but I'll give it like 4.25 holocrons. Even
I think
though
that might be our first quarter holocron. Like,
four and a
Yeah,
quarter holocrons, yeah,
yeah. I
4.25.
I go 4. I mean, it's solid 4 out of 5. Just there were just a couple of moments in there, but I love seeing Ram Jam around back.
Me too.
And seeing Maz's crew back. So
Yeah, I
kind of
just like having
kind of
so
cool.
many. It was a lot of characters, a lot
it
of
was a
characters, a
lot.
lot
It
of
was
action, a lot of stuff.
yeah,
But it was
a
good
lot of
story,
characters.
and they were all connected. So I liked
Yeah.
it. So 4.25.
Like I said, it probably been cleaned up a little bit. Maybe if someone do a second pass through, that'd have been a lot better. But good ideas. All right, let me pay the bills. Hyperspace Props are official sponsor of the Not So Virtual Cantina Special Edition in Japan. Pre-order your credits and cosplay props at www.hyperspaceprops.com. Use code NSVCSE for 10% off. Be sure you're following us on YouTube at Virtual Cantina Network, on Instagram at Virtual.Cantina Network, on X, Virtual Cantina, on Threads at Virtual.Cantina Network, on Hive at Virtual Cantina, and on TikTok at Virtual Cantina. Please like, subscribe, and follow us, especially the Facebook page, Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025. That's the mothership. Yeah, please like, subscribe, comment. We love hearing your comments. We really appreciate that. It helps us a lot.
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
Let's
Hey,
thank. Don't we need to thank some people?
just need to thank Star Wars Comic Book Club and Star Wars Book Nerds as always for their support. And may the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye bye.